So, My Little Pony is back on the air. Let's talk about that. A while ago, a friend of mine was watching the Netflix exclusive Talking for Clapping by Patton and Oswalt. He called me out, thinking that I would appreciate his bit about My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, and I loved it. He wasn't bashing the show at all, but rather giving a detailed explanation on the world and its characters. You could definitely tell that he was watching more than one episode. Then again, when your daughter forces you to sit down and watch, you really don't have a choice at that point. In any case, the show staff had to include him in some way, which brings us to this week's episode. Stranger Than Fanfiction is a Rainbow Dash-centered episode where she gets to attend a Daring Do convention. There she meets Patton's character, Quibble. The two instantly hit it off and begin to have fun all over the convention center. It isn't until they take a break that Quibble reveals that he's only a fan of the first 3 novels and thought that the rest were too fake. This upsets Rainbow as she loves every book and knows for a fact that her events weren't fake. Wanting to prove him wrong, she tracks down AK Yearling in hopes to change Quibble's opinion. AK, however, had different plans, as she was busy with her newest quest. Something about an amulet in her chest and whatnot. Caballeron is after it, and he wants to sell it to the highest bidder, instead of, looking for the treasure himself so he can get paid even more. Anyway, AK told Rainbow Dash to be on the lookout for him, as the convention was the perfect place for her to hide while secretly getting her job done. While Rainbow was on lookout, she runs into Quibble again, and he's persistent on annoying her with their love for the rest of the series. Distracted from her duties, the two get kidnapped by Caballeron, and Quibble thinks that this is all fake. After a near-death experience of falling off a bridge, Quibble finally realizes this was all real. At least until the story gets predictable again, and Quibble just assumes that the experience trip he was taken on was run by some cheap performers who didn't take into account the safety of their customers. He gets proven wrong again when he realizes he's about to be eaten by a giant sand monster. The point is further proven when Daring Do herself rescues the two helpless ponies at the last possible second. Ready to finally leave, Quibble gets told that they need to find the treasure first. After coming across what seemed to be an impossible puzzle, Quibble was able to solve it in less time than the adventurer who does this for a living. They find the treasure they were looking for, make an epic escape, and even found a way to give Caballeron his comeuppance. As Daring Do flies off delivering the treasure to a museum, Quibble gives us the lesson of the episode, and Rainbow Dash walks off with her new friend while he talks about a fanfiction idea he would like to implement in Daring's next book. Overall, this episode was very entertaining. The fact that Quibble Pants kept listing out all the tropes and then watched him be right all the time was hilarious. His disinterest and disgust had me smiling from beginning to end. I think this really shows off what kind of fans there are in every fandom, and how one should respect and accept their viewpoints no matter how wrong we think they are. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and it doesn't hurt to hear what the opposition has to say. It only furthers your understanding about what you love even more. So what were your thoughts on the episode? Feel free to comment down below. Until next time.